So, folks, there's this guy called Jon Ossoff, and I've described him in the past as kind of a dark horse candidate for United States president in 2028. Obviously, you guys know my number one choice is AOC entering the race, though what she may or may not be doing is anyone's guess at this point. I feel like she's signaled both ways to keep her options open. She's probably not going to announce until after the midterms. But I've been going back and forth on whether or not Jon Ossoff is going to be running in the presidential primary. Oh, Jon Ossoff is definitely running in the presidential primary, okay? He put out a video today titled, "This is Why Things Don't Work for Ordinary People," and we're going to take a look at it, okay?
We're told a story. Work hard, play by the rules, and you'll thrive. No matter who you are or where you start, the grind will pay off. But for too many, this story just isn't true. Groceries, rent, insurance, taxes, the car note, the power bill, the math doesn't work.
I was so happy to graduate college, but why is rent so expensive?
2 out of 3 Americans told us they're stressed about their own finances.
No matter how hard you hustle, you can't get ahead. The culture wars are exploited to divide us, while insurance companies get away with denying our claims, while hedge funds buy up all the houses in our neighborhoods, while we have to pay $3,000 for an ambulance. You aren't the problem. Neither are your fellow Americans. The problem is a corrupt and failing political system. The problem is that the people's elected representatives don't represent the people. They represent the donors and special interests. Corruption is why things don't work for ordinary people.
This guy got the juice.
We have to understand it. Corruption's impact isn't abstract. It shows up in our daily lives. Take prescription drugs. The cost of medicine in America is astronomical compared to other wealthy countries.
Millions of Americans simply can't afford their prescription drugs right now.
Some seniors are going without just to afford the medication they need to live.
About 1 in 3 American adults skip the medication their doctor prescribes because they can't afford it. Drug companies charge hundreds of times what it costs to produce them. But how have they gotten away with it? Every election cycle, drug companies spend millions on campaign contributions to Republicans and Democrats to shape policy and protect their profits. And members of Congress fall in line. It's corruption in plain sight. But nowhere was Pharma's grip on Congress clearer than in 2003, when the industry corrupted legislation that was meant to make medications affordable. See, Congress was creating Medicare Part D, a program meant to help seniors afford prescriptions. But drug companies moved quickly to protect their profits. The industry mobilized an army of lobbyists to secure a key provision in the bill that prevented the federal government from using Medicare's bargaining power to negotiate lower prices. Other wealthy countries, they negotiate to get a better deal for their citizens. Our Congress banned that. And the result was predictable. American seniors ended up paying more than patients almost anywhere else. But the congressman who led the charge to protect Big Pharma, Billy Tauzin, he left Congress right after the bill passed to run one of the pharmaceutical industry's biggest lobbying powerhouses, earning more than $2 million a year.
This doesn't look good.
But
you push this bill through that gets that produces a windfall for the drug companies, and then you go to work for the drug lobby at a salary of $2 million.
If that looks bad, you have at it. That's the truth.
This is how the system has worked for a long time. But it doesn't have to, and it doesn't always.
Tonight, for the first time, Medicare will finally negotiate with the drug companies to lower the prices.
In 2022, I helped pass a bill that finally started to break Pharma's grip on Congress.
Georgia seniors' out-of-pocket prescription costs are now capped at $2,000 per year. And the law also puts a $35 monthly cap on insulin costs for those with Medicare.
That doesn't mean the problem is solved, but it's proof the system can be changed when there's the will to do it. This fight isn't just about politics. It isn't just about one man or one party. It's about power. Who has it and who our system serves. If we can break the grip of corruption, our politics can meet the people's needs instead of serving the wealthy and powerful. That's a fight we have to win.
Now, I'm not here to tell you guys that, like, this guy is, like, the silver bullet in terms of, like, what can win in a 2028 election, but I am telling you guys that this is, like, the messaging that we need to start seeing from people who are intending to run, because it is only with, like, a very clear description of how the corruption actually functions and a clear targeting of those who are responsible, i.e., the major donors to the political parties, the major industries, big pharma being one of the most popular ones to point out. But this is a step in the right direction, as opposed to what we've seen from folks like Hakeem Jeffries, who will just he'll talk a big game like, "Oh, fix the rhetoric in your own damn house," you know, but then say, "Well, fundamentally, we're not going to be doing anything if we do win control of Congress in 2026." And so, what I see here is somebody who's willing to like articulate the problem, and then also point out potential solutions to that problem, or at least some potential improvements to that problem, which is better than basically anyone else that is currently in the field, barring like maybe JB Pritzker, maybe AOC. But like, you look at the other ones, Andy Bashir, like what's his face in Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, like Jon Ossoff isn't like the ideal political candidate. He's not even really in like my top, you know, I guess he would de facto be in my top 3, largely because the entire field of candidates who've been positioning themselves to run sucks ass in the Democratic Party. I think part of the problem here is, one, he isn't announcing that he's running, first of all. That this is just him putting out campaign video for his election to the Senate, because he's currently in a re-election race. So he's looking to win re-election in 2026. He's not putting out there that like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to run for president if you elect me to Senate in 2028. He's not going to do that. He's going to wait until after the midterms. And the other part of it is, of course, we've got multiple millstones right now around the neck of the Democratic Party. Number one is, you know, are you a fight Democrat? Are you team fight? And Jon Ossoff is very clearly in team fight, which is good. But the other one, of course, is Gaza and, you know, the now broader Middle East crisis that Donald Trump has manufactured, along with the complicity of Democrats. And Jon Ossoff isn't great on that. You know, he's no John Fetterman. He did vote to restrict some arms sales to Israel in the past, but also, you know, he's failed the moment in a lot of different ways in that regard. But he does present to me as somebody who is willing to alter his position, because you can see him doing it over time, over the last few years. So I guess where I am here is he just seems like such a say the words politician. I mean, he's a Democrat in Georgia. Is that right? Is he in Georgia? Am I remembering that correct? He's a Southern Democrat. Yeah, Georgia. So like, he's doing what he can in Georgia, in the Georgia context, and he's gotten some wins, which he mentions at the end of that when it comes to like the capping of prescription drug prices, which is a huge problem for, you know, the predominantly low-income South. So all of this is to say, I don't think that he's like the perfect candidate, but this is a guy who could actually win. That's all I'm saying. And he could win in a way that actually makes a difference in a positive direction, as opposed to what I would describe 80% of the current field of Democratic presidential candidates for 2028 being people who would largely just return to like a Biden-esque status quo. And we need a lot better than a Biden-esque status quo. What about Roe? I don't think Roe has the juice to win a general election as president. AOC has the juice. Ro Khanna does not. So I guess my excitement here over Jon Ossoff is less about Jon Ossoff and more about a broadening possibility window of someone who is at least willing to improve things rather than merely roll back the active harms that have been done to the American people. Because it's not enough to just roll back the harms done by the Trump administration. We need to build something better. And we need candidates who are actually willing to go out there and advocate for something better, to explain what the problems are, and that the problems aren't all just Donald Trump bad. You know, like these are systemic issues that go back far before Donald Trump, which is one of the reasons I was slightly impressed by this video, because it's a lot easier to just say Orange Man bad rather than actually engage with the systemic issues underneath that, you know? So all that being said, I'm a little bit more optimistic than I was before I saw this, because I do think that this ad also indicates that Jon Ossoff is definitely going to run. You don't put together a 4-minute long ad on the corruption of the pharmaceutical industry if you're not planning on running and like advocating for a bigger plan. That being said, also, Jon Ossoff has been fundraising like a goddamn madman. Yeah, like he's been building a massive cash advantage over his GOP contenders in this race, and I think that in part it's to run for Senate, but I also think that he's fundraising as a preparatory step to win a primary. He's doing all the things that you would do if you wanted to run for president. Anyway, all that being said, if you liked this, if you got anything out of it, hit the like button, subscribe. Also, leave a comment. Comments longer than 8 words really help in the algorithm, so do consider doing that. And also, folks, get organized. Join your local Dems. Join your local DSA. We need folks to show up to those meetings, because you have more say if you do. You have more influence if you show up to the goddamn meetings. And 90% of organizing is showing up. So go to the goddamn meetings. All that being said, last but not least, check out ImogeneOlivia.com. Gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes. Also tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks. Go check it out. It's non-tucking lingerie. And it's sexy as hell. Go check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com. Link down in the description, and let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and swishy streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, dating, plenty more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack.